There were no more commanders. There was nothing left. Humanity had been taken down to 49,000 human beings. That was it. And if you've seen that program, then you know what the journey is like when you have nothing left. And they invited us to the United Nations because of our show. Because the show speaks clearly on reconciliation. Matter of fact, the head of human rights spoke first at the UN after watching a clip, a 5-minute clip from Battlestar, and then he spoke for like 15 minutes. And then Whoopi Goldberg, who was moderating, asked questions of the audience, and the audience asked questions of us, and I didn't speak. And finally they came to me and they said, Whoopi goes, "Eddie, you haven't said anything. What do you think about reconciliation?" Reconciliation. You know who needs to see Battlestar Galactica? The Jews and the Palestinians, the Irish and the English, the Argentinians and the rest of the world. Seriously. Reconciliation. The ability to reconcile our differences and to come together for a common purpose. Save humanity. That was the show. So they got up there and they started to talk, and here the #1 most effective chief of human rights at the UN, young man, speaks fluently. I mean, the guy was fantastic. You can watch the whole 3-hour performance of Battlestar at the United Nations. They got the whole thing on there. But then Whoopi had to ask me, "What do you think, Eddie?" And I said, "I think this is wonderful. I mean, it's unbelievable that we're all here together under the guise of a television show. It's unbelievable. I can't tell you, but you should have never invited me here." And the place started laughing. And I said, and Mary McDonald, who's co-stars with me, says, he always says that. And everybody laughs some more. But I was stone serious. You should have never invited me here today. Because the head of human rights, the man who's reconciling the entire planet, his responsibility is to try to make people come together. That's his whole job. From the entire planet, all the nations on the planet, he's been chosen to try to help. He's speaking directly. And I say to him, I said, he just finished using the word race as a cultural determinant. As if there was a white race, a brown race, a black race, a yellow race, a red race. And I said, there's no such thing as a brown race or a black race. There's only one race, and that's the human race, period. And I stopped them from clapping, just like I'm stopping you from clapping. The whole place started to clap. I said, don't. Because it hurts me that none of you, not one of you, maybe the baby, sitting here at the age of 3 or 4, who recognized, pointed her eyes, he's talking about me, might have a chance because of what happened on March 18th. But I made it very clear when I said, none of you will ever get the word race out of your head as meaning culture. You've all learned it for 600 years. And the only reason we ever started to use the word race was so it'd be easier for you to kill her, you to kill me to kill you. Because we were different races. You don't kill your own race. So you have to kill the other. So we started using the word 600 plus years ago. The word race is a cultural determinant. And to this day, We still have racial discrimination. When a bug doesn't like you, that's racial discrimination. When a person doesn't like you because of the color of your skin or your religion, that's discrimination, period. Very hard to change. You'll stand up, every one of you is saying, well, I know that, I know that. I know that there's only one race. I know it's a human race. Of course I know that. But it's okay to use the word race, you know, to mean culture too. It's okay. You go to Webster in the dictionary, you'll find it right there. Sorry. Check it out, what the word race means. Check out what kind of a way that they define it. There's only one race. And I said it at the UN. And right after I finished saying it, the place went nuts. And you know what I made them do? At the end of it, I said, there's only one race. And I said, so say we all.
Yes. Yes.
So say we all.
So say we all.
So say we all.
So say we all.
Exactly what happened. The whole UN, after the third time I said, so say we all. And we all just, and you know what happened? 2 months ago, Craig, who runs the Office of Human Rights, came up to me, flew into Los Angeles and says, I got something to tell you. Very first major human rights conference, the Durban Human Rights Conference, held 2 months ago. They changed their charter. The word race will never be used as a cultural determinant again. They are now trying to, yeah! And the Chicano did it. All the way from East LA for 37 years. And you know what? I bet you it takes an act of God, and we may not even see the change at the UN. Because some country, some culture will come out and say, no, I think that's, quite frankly, it's over-exaggerated. The word is simply well used as race, of course. You watch and tell me who stops it from being. We must stop dividing ourselves. We must start to unite ourselves. Race is a unifying word. Stop using it as a divisive word. Don't ever use the word race again in your lifetime. And when you use it, say, oh, shoot, I'm sorry. I just used the word race as a cultural determinant. I'm sorry. The person will look at you and say, what the hell's wrong with you? What are you talking about? No. Don't do that. I just made a big mistake because there's only one race, it's the human race. And, you know, the cultures, great cultures, you know, different cultures. You know, Latino cultures, there's plenty of it. I mean, you know, Cuban, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Guatemalan, Asian cultures, whoa! Man, there's 300 languages just picking, you know, parts of China, just one part of China. You know, and, you know, European cultures, you call an Irishman an Englishman, and you watch what happens. Okay? There are distinct cultures on the planet. They're all the same race. And it hasn't changed, and I'm here to tell you that I'm really tired. Because you know that it's the truth, and yet you keep on inviting me back, and nothing changes. And if the UN doesn't change it too, if the UN doesn't change it, then we will. We will start to walk around saying, there's only one race. Do not use the word race when you're talking about culture ever again. So if you have race relations classes here, change it. The next time you think that there's racial prejudicisms in the world, no. Cultural prejudicisms, maybe. But I'm just going to say that there are prejudicisms, period. Discrimination, period. You don't need to define it. When I say you're being discriminatory, you're really, you're hurting me because you don't like the color of my skin. Don't put race along with it.